week.
I throw up this lower third and don't even get to finish my intro. It's done now. Come on, Chatterbox.
It's the last week in the studio before we get kicked out for a while.
This is true. Yeah, take it all in.
Because starting on Monday.
Monday.
Is when renovation's going to start around here. And so we're going to be kicked out for the foreseeable future. But don't worry, we'll still have TFT. We'll still have it live. Just live.
From the Bachelorette pad.
I told my wife about this.
My wife.
And she was like, that's great. Like, where are you going to sit? And I said, I don't know.
On the floor.
On the floor?
You have to be on the floor.
Can I have a couch?
No.
I think
we don't have one of those. We don't believe in couches.
You don't believe in couches?
We watch our TV standing up.
Yep. I would love if I just go in there and it's just like all beanbags.
Just, oh my God, dude, I have been on the beanbag train for so long.
Nothing but beanbags.
That's what I just don't understand why we don't have some beanbags in the office, because you know when peak beanbag season is?
Mm-hmm.
Magazine editing.
Mm-hmm.
Magazine season is peak beanbag season, because I'm sitting there uncomfortable at my desk, and I don't do much with the magazine anymore because we've got a bunch of other stuff going on. That being said, when I like hardcore parachute into magazine season, it's when you need people reading pages. Like we added it up last year. I think I read more pages than anybody else because I didn't write anything. Fresh set of eyes. And yet we're sitting here in these uncomfy chairs, like feet up on the desk, feet over, down like this, hunched over. I need a beanbag.
Okay.
And there's still no beanbags.
We can work on this.
I feel like that's just easy.
So this weekend was my wife's birthday.
Yes, how was it?
It was good. It's a good time. She had a great time.
Y'all crushed the cake.
Right?
I messaged her.
Hank helped out.
Y'all did really good.
Mm-hmm.
They did a pink Barbie cake with like a Barbie printout on top. It looked really good.
And there was a little car too.
Yes. She was like, I love my little Hot Wheels car.
She was very excited.
That's how I read the message in Jen's voice.
That's pretty accurate. It was very good. One of the things that came in, one of the reasons that it was a special weekend was that my in-laws are in town. Her folks came in town for her birthday. We went to dinner Saturday, and one of the things that my father-in-law is returning home with is the stuff for my taxes. My father-in-law
nice.
is a banker.
Does he want to do my taxes?
He's done our taxes forever. So you do your own taxes, right?
Yes.
Can I just, and I'm not interested, this is not a tax, like how much should we be taxed type thing. I'm not interested in that.
I need a tax friend.
Why is it that we have to calculate our own taxes?
It feels like we're setting ourselves up for punishment.
Like all you're doing is like they're saying you figure it out and send us the amount you think is right, and if you're wrong, we'll make sure that you're punished for it. Like that,
straight to jail.
Right. That feels so like imagine if a restaurant operated that way. Like imagine if like they said, "All right, eat whatever you want." But then at the end you need to calculate exactly how much you should pay, and by the way,
restaurants would probably be rich, to be honest, because
and this is
most people would overcompensate.
This is not a universal thing. You go to a lot of other countries, and like they have all your information. Here's a spoiler alert: the government knows how much taxes you owe. Assuming you're not doing anything like shady. But like you have to put your Social Security number on everything, right?
Right.
So like they know how much money I made in 2023, how much money my household made in 2023. Why can't they just bill me?
Yeah.
Why can't they just say, "Hey, you owe X number of dollars"?
That would be a lot easier.
Right? It's
that would be a lot. Well, and especially, and we've talked about this too, if you have just a W-2 that comes back to you, it's pretty easy. Pretty simple. You can put that in the Tax Act and say, you know what, take it away, and it basically gives you that, and sometimes you end up getting money back in a tax return. Then you work in our industry, and there's a lot of opportunity for 1099s.
You get 1099, baby.
And let me tell you,
so
1099s are the bane of my existence.
So when I started going, and now we're full tax talk here, when I started working for Bally, the first couple of years, I basically did not withhold anything. And so then
my brother,
I got
wrecked.
Hammered on the back end.
Absolutely.
I had to
wrecked.
write a sizable check to the government at the end. And so now we've figured it out and stuff. But
it's still even hard to guess every now and then, like just depending on, especially like if you get like a one-time payment, that's a lot more money. It's a lot more taxes taken out. If you get like reoccurring smaller payments, it's actually better for you because you don't get bumped up in the tax bracket.
It's insane. But by the way, there have been a couple of different times that people have that the president has tried to reform this. In 1985. President Ronald Reagan promised a return-free tax system in which half of Americans would never fill out a tax return again. Okay? And in 2006, President Barack Obama's chief economist, Austin Goolsbee, suggested a simple return in which taxpayers would receive an already completed tax form for their review or correction. So that's both sides of the aisle, right?
Yeah.
That's a Republican and a Democrat both suggesting this, and neither of it got done.
And we still can't get there.
No, we still can't do it. There has to be a better way.
I just want you to tell me what I have to pay.
That's exactly it.
Like, and if I had
this is as political as it gets. I don't have a problem paying it.
Right.
If you tell me what I owe, it's like if I go to a restaurant. If that's what I owe, then that's what I owe, right? I just,
Yeah, and if you don't, make it like UIL realignment. They tell you where you're going, and if you don't like it, you can rebuttal.
You can appeal.
You know, you can appeal. Appeal is a better word there. But you can say, like, no, here's this because of this. Like, if you're not a billionaire and you don't have all the write-offs and all the this and the that, like, tell me what I owe, and then be like, okay, that's it. Bye-bye.
Anyway,
and I can be like, no.
That's my rant as my father-in-law goes back with a handful of papers that I received in the mail and another one that I printed all.
At least you don't have to do it yourself. That's a big thing.
That is nice. Yeah. Anyway, hit the theme expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Y'all, from the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a show that's still sitting next to each other. My name is Greg Tupper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us.
You're here.
Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or you're listening to the podcast, which you could subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part. Support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks, Miss 305, soon to be Mrs. 305. She's Ashley Pickle.
Correct. Hello.
All I want to know,
how
are you doing considering the news of the Pitbull Reba song? Was that it?
No, it was
Pitbull and who?
Yeah, was it? Who was it?
Was it Reba?
It
was for Daytona 500,
no,
right?
Dolly. It was Dolly because
Dolly
it was
Parton,
9 to 5.
yes.
Oh my gosh, I lost it. I was like, I got one of my actually bridesmaids sent it to me, and she was like, "Wait a minute!" And then I was like, "Oh my god, it's the best thing ever."
Happy Pitbull Day.
And it's called Powerful Women. How cool is that? Rhonda, Mallory's mom.
Shout out Rhonda.
Shout out Rhonda always. Rhonda sent it to me, and she said, next WTF theme song. I was like, yeah, I don't care what the licensing fee is. Adam, look, I have a very important purchase that we need to make. Puts on capital expense report next year. New WTF theme song to Mr.
it just
Bull.
says Dolly.
He's gonna be like, what is this?
What's Dale? How much should we spend on Dale?
The limit does not exist.
Today is Monday, February 19th, 2024. 283 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to the star of the hit motion picture Godzilla King of the Monsters. Millie Bobby Brown turns 19 today. She's also in some small Netflix show.
Stranger Things.
It's episode 1000.
She turns how old?
19.
Oh God.
It's episode 1000.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. It's episode 1719. 32?
33.
33. I was looking at Millie Bobby Brown's age instead. 1733. On today's show, folks, we got some headlines from across the state, including We know who's appealing their UIL district alignment.
Dun-dun-dun.
We'll talk about that and kind of handicap, in my opinion, who's going to get it and who's not. And then back half of the show, the Big 12 is making news right now because of their media day announcement. We'll talk about that. But more importantly, we're going to take a look at what the new Big 12 might look like, because it is going to be very different in 2024, and we will talk about that coming up here at the back half of the program. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was jersey number 69, just Chad, Daniel Agnew, and Aaron Arbuckle coming in strong with an all-caps yeet. Welcome in, fellas. Never stop eating.
Welcome in, friends. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. Okie dokie, Pickle. Let's get some headlines from across the state of Texas, and let's start in the college ranks. And in the college ranks, there's some news out of Austin that, listen, it's probably a good time to be Steve Sarkisian.
Yep.
Steve Sarkisian, of course, led the Texas Longhorns to the college football playoff last year, and now is going to be a little bit richer.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be the third highest paid coach in college football, as he will ink an extension. Entering his fourth season, he will ink an extension to make more than $10 million per year, starting in 2024. Then I will say this. I think it's a 9-year extension, but who cares?
No.
Like, I've stopped caring about the years part.
No, because it doesn't matter.
Nobody's contract is going to ever expire.
No.
Like, nobody's the age of especially a high profile coach not getting his contract renewed, they're just going to fire him.
Yeah.
So,
and the likelihood of anything over 3 years getting extended nowadays is rough enough.
So here's the actual contract is starting in 2024, he'll make $10.3 million. Every year through 2030, he'll make $100,000 more dollars. So it's 10.3, 10.4, 10.5, 10.6, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I think we saw this coming.
Oh, yeah.
This is a gentleman who probably was due for a raise because of what he was able to do. That's just what happens in college football in the year of our Lord 2024, is that if you take a team to the college football playoff, you get a raise.
You're going to rip
right? You're going to get a
benefits.
raise. Furthermore, I think that there was the opening at Alabama. I think we all, when that happened, when Nick Saban retired, all of us said, "Hey, what about Steve Sarkisian?"
Yep.
He's from the He's got ties to Alabama. He's got ties to the Nick Saban tree. He's obviously had success. What about Steve Sarkisian? Obviously, they don't hire Steve Sarkisian, but the writing was on the wall that the agent was certainly going to say, "Well, I don't know."
Absolutely. There's no doubt he was in Del Conte's office the next morning going, all right, how are you going to keep him?
How are you going to keep me?
Because if not, I'm shipping him out to Alabama.
So that is we're kind of going from like known knowns to speculation, right? Because now we're into full-on speculation, because I'll tell you what I think this contract extension is really about. I think this contract extension is really about the Ohio State University. I'll tell you why. So the head coach at Ohio State is Ryan Day. Ryan Day's been very good.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Day's been very good. But Ryan Day has lost to Michigan, didn't make the playoff last year, has not won a national championship. Ryan Day, if you talk to Ohio State fans, I have a number of them in my life. If you talk to Ohio State fans, not huge fans of Ryan Day.
It's just getting stale.
Furthermore, and here's a spoiler alert for everybody. This offseason, from a national perspective, is going to be a lot of Ohio State hype. They bring back a ton from last year's team. They bring back a ton, and Michigan's going to be reloading. And
new coach.
New coach at
Michigan.
Yeah, there's a lot of, Ohio State is going to be the hot team that everyone talks about.
Especially expanded playoffs, too, this year.
Absolutely. Everyone's going to be talking about Ohio State as, one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win the national championship.
Which, to be fair, has been the case couple different times now throughout the past 5 years.
Let me see. The odds are, so 2024, this is for 2024 season. Yeah. So the odds are out. Georgia's first.
Okay.
Ohio State's second. Okay. Then Texas, and then Alabama. And then Oregon. If Ohio State does not, I would say at the very least, win a playoff game, right? So that would make it to even then.
Even then, I think that they need to get to the Final Four.
If they win I think they got to make it to the Final Four.
If you can get to the semis, then
I think they have to make it to a semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
If they do not at least make it to a semifinal, I think they're going to fire Ryan Day.
Yeah, because then you would be butted number one in the preseason all the way throughout the year. If you were to just crap the bed in the playoff, then it's like, what are we doing?
Then with this roster, then I think they're going to fire Ryan Day. And if they fire Ryan Day, Steve Sarkisian is going to be a name that comes up.
Yeah, especially if they were to make it to the Final Four again.
So this feels like, for me, a preemptive strike. Maybe I'm connecting dots that aren't there, but when this came down, I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense for, he was due a contract extension. He got it. And so Steve Sarkisian now extremely, extremely rich.
Well, and the other thing real fast I feel like is when, obviously Saban retires and then Harbaugh leaves to go up to the NFL, it always seems like every now and then we get to that wave of like one generation kind of going out, one generation starts to come in, and it's like Steve Sarkisian's at the top of that next big generation.
So let's move to the high school ranks, because a couple of things I want to talk about in the high school ranks. First of all is news that came down today. It's on TexasFootball.com. I wrote it about the 7 schools in Texas high school football that are appealing their UIL district alignment. So UIL realignment was back on February 1st or 2nd?
First.
February 1st. UIL realignment came out. It's crazy. Oh, my gosh. Wow, we did a live show. Blah, blah, blah. But we warned you. We were like, this is not the end, because there's still an appeals process for a number of districts, or for every team. The appeal process is available to every team. Now, there's 2 types of appeals. Let's go through this. Every podcast is somebody's first. The 2 types of appeals.
Yes.
The first appeal is what's called a local appeal. Pickle High School is in District 3. They want to be in District 4. They take a vote of District 3. And District 3 says, yeah, it's okay, you can leave. And District 4 says, oh, yeah, you can join. It's done and dusted. UIL, just tell the UIL, they'll write it down. That you get those approvals. If there's approval on both ends, both where you're leaving and where you're going, you don't have to involve the UIL.
Yep.
The second type is what we're going to be talking about now, which is where you don't get those approvals. There's some pushback from either the district you're leaving or the district you're joining, and then it goes to the UIL, specifically the UIL's District Assignment Appeals Committee, which is going to meet tomorrow in Austin to talk about 7 schools that have filed an appeal. Of the 7, this is just very interesting. 6 are in 5A.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Lufkin is appealing. I don't think this is a surprise.
No, not at all.
Lufkin is appealing. Lufkin was in District 7 5A, of course, Division 1. We talked a lot about that district of kind of this large swath from Cleburne and Joshua, south of Fort Worth, all the way to Lufkin. They are instead appealing to go to District 9 5A Division 1, which is with Angleton, Barbers Hill, Baytown Sterling, Port Arthur Memorial, Galveston, Ball, those teams. So they want to go, and we talked about Lufkin a lot.
Yeah.
They're on an island. They're saying, please send us southeast, don't send us northwest.
Which makes sense, because even though the time of travel might be very similar, you know how much easier it is to go from Lufkin to southeast Texas and hop on a highway and just go than it is to try and make it through Dallas, over to Fort Worth, south of Fort Worth. I don't know last time you've driven through Burleson and Joshua. That is stoplight hell right there.
It is.
So
it is. Okay. So if I were to guess, and that's all we're doing here is we're guessing. Now, by the way, if you crunch the numbers, they have a good case from a travel perspective. They're saying, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I would say that they are likely to get that. Yep. That would be my guess. I think that they would be likely to get that alignment change. Okay. So now let's talk about another one. So Lufkin wants to join District 9-5A Division 1. Angleton wants to leave 9-5A Division 1. Angleton has appealed. They want to join District 11-5A Division 1, which was the Crosby, Friendswood, New Caney Porter, Springwoods, Fort Bend, Kempner, kind of this kind of big looping district that goes all the way around Houston. They want to do that. They want to join that district. Or they want to join that district from the district that they're in right now, which is very kind of all along the coast. This one is going to be tight. I would say that the UIL will basically Angleton to Port Arthur Memorial is a long stretch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That guess. I think that's 50-50 on whether or not they're going to get that. I think they've got a chance, but I think it's.
Well, it might be one of those things that if the addition of Lufkin was to give that an even better chance of happening, it's one or the other.
And by the way,
because Lufkin makes sense.
I think there is a chance that what they do is that they go, okay, Lufkin, you go to District 9, Angleton, you go to District 11.
Yep.
I think there's a chance of that. Now that would create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I was just going to ask how many are in 11.
8. That would be a 9-team District in 11.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot. Something to keep an eye on. I will say this.
But would it make it a
Angleton-
9-team district if they both stayed in District 9?
Yes. There are... No, it'd be 18 district if Lufkin joined District 9.
Okay. Okay, I feel like that hurts
1, 2,
Angleton's
3,
chances a little
4,
bit.
5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Yep.
There's 7. So maybe from a competitive
You do
balance
8
for a
and
number,
8.
They might have 8 and 8.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's not something they're going to take travel into account first and foremost.
Right.
I would say Angleton's a 50-50. Lufkin likely. Angleton's a 50-50.
Yep. I would
One
agree
thing
with
to
that.
keep in mind with that, I think they are moving. They are asking to leave a more manageable district to enter a more difficult district. With Friendswood, with Crosby, with New Caney Porter.
Crosby was down last year, but Porter was pretty good.
But here's the thing. Speaking of District 11 5A Division 1, Springwoods wants to leave 11 5A Division 1, and they want to go to District 10 5A Division 1. So 11 5A Division 1, we talked about that. That's kind of the Houston area district.
Right.
And they want to go to District 10. District 10 is basically... Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's Houston ISD. It's Galena Park and Houston ISD, kind of right smack dab in the middle of it.
So they're going for a lot easier of a district there.
They want to move. They'll be moving to an easier district. Here's the thing, though. It would not make a lot of sense from a shape perspective. That right now, Houston, they have that District 11, which kind of loops all the way around Houston.
Yeah, which is great because then you don't have to deal with traffic on the inner side.
It would look different if Springwoods goes to there. So it's because of Fort Bend Kempner that they have down there. I don't know. That's very interesting to me. And another thing about that is I believe that would create another 9-team district. So keep an eye on that.
So literally all of those are just domino effects.
Yes, they're all of them are connected.
Those
all
are
the 5A
intertwined.
Division 1s are connected. Okay. So now let's go to 5A Division 2, where there's two more. I believe there's 2 more. Yeah, there's 2 more appeals basically. Victoria West, we thought this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria West, if you remember, Victoria West got sent to San Antonio. Victoria West is kind of on an island all by themselves, and they got sent to San Antonio with the with San Antonio Veterans Memorial, with Alamo Heights, with Harlandale, with McCollum, and and then Bernie and Kerrville Tivy. Got sent to San Antonio. They want to go to the coast. They want to join 14 5A Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
Corpus Christi, Carroll, King, Miller, Gregory, Portland. I think that's pretty likely.
Yeah.
In my opinion, those tweeners, I think that the UIL is probably going to support that appeal and say, we'll send you to the coast. It's a done deal.
Well, and probably, too, because I'm sure those were what they were on the fence about in the first place, too.
Now
It's going to be bringing up bad memories.
Now, here's the interesting part of this, okay? The other 2 teams that want to appeal in 5A Division 2 are also trying to leave 13 5A Division 2. Harlandale and McCollum want to leave 13 5A Division 2. That's the Bernie, Kerrville, Tivy, San Antonio Veterans Memorial, Alamo Heights district.
Yeah, it's a difficult district.
And they want to go to 12 5A Division 2, which is basically San Antonio ISD. It's the if you were to do that, if you were to allow Victoria West out, then it would make sense geographically from a footprint perspective. But here's the problem. That would only leave 5 teams That would only leave 4 teams in 13 5A Division 2.
And I guarantee you that would be a 9-team
With
district.
Bernie, Tivy, San Antonio Veterans Memorial,
And
Alamo Heights. That would only leave 4 teams if you let Harlandale, McCollum, and Victoria West leave. This is my official projection.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to let Victoria West leave.
And keep the other 2.
And they're going to say, sorry, Harlandale, McCollum.
Because the San Antonio ISD's district
1,
is
2,
huge.
3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. It's only
7? Okay,
It's
but
7.
if
So
you added 2 more, then
it'd be
you're
9.
going up to a 9-team district
And
and
you
then
have-
leaving another one with 4.
Yeah. You're also asking them to switch regions, which is another thing. I would, right now, I would say Victoria West, likely, Harlandale, McCollum, unlikely.
Yes.
And then one more, and this is kind of a little bit off the beaten path, but Smithville is is appealing in 4A Division 2. If you take a look at 4A Division 2, Smithville is in District 13 4A Division 2. Geronimo Navarro, Gonzales, Gerald, Lago Vista, Salado, Smithville, and Wimberley. And if you take a look at that district where Smithville is located, I'm pulling up District 13. They are kind of on the far west side of that district. They want to move over and go join the is it District 11? Is that where they want to go? They want to go to District 11. They want to go to District 13 to District 11. That is the Madisonville, Sealy, Belleville district, LaGrange. I think the UIL will probably grant that, in my opinion. Now, because if you look at the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it would create an 8-team district, which is no fun in 4A Division 2. That would be the only reason, in my opinion. Because from a travel perspective, it's kind of a wash.
Right.
In fact, Smithville might be signing up for more travel when they're going up to Madisonville. I'm interested to see the case that they make in front of them. So those are the appeals. We'll keep you posted on what happens with those appeals process. That hearing is tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow morning. Another program, Texas High School football program, has suspended their football for the next 2 years. Austin Lassa has suspended their next for the 2024 realignment. Of course, the Raptors, the Lassa Raptors, which rocks.
Yes.
They have they began its own football program in 2020 after splitting off from Austin LBJ. Derek Lewis was hired in summer 2022. He's led Lassa to an 8-12 record, including 6-4 in 2023, which is a minor miracle down there at Lassa.
Oh yeah.
But from what we understand, likely the district. They're probably having trouble with numbers, plain and simple. That's usually what happens. It is a 5A Division 2 district. It's 11 5A Division 2. And so as a result, now
LBJ,
you are going to, LBJ.
Maynard New Tech's in it.
Tech, yeah. As a result, you are... The biggest issue here is going to be all these teams now have to find one more non-district game.
Yeah.
And whoever had them scheduled now has to find have to fill their schedule. Of note, and Matt Stepp notes this in his article, Austin ISD has not had an athletic director since September. And so when Leal Anderson moved to a new role.
How has that gone so under the radar?
There has not been a full-time athletic director, and they have not named an interim athletic director. So it's a bit of a rudderless ship down there in Austin ISD athletics-wise.
Right.
And Austin Lassa is right now not going to play football for the next 2 years. And finally, one more small note. Lamesa has made a hire. Lamesa, the Golden Tornadoes,
How about that?
have hired Anna defensive coordinator Efren Ramos to be their next head coach. You may remember him from leading Anna pitching a shutout in the state championship game against one of the most high-powered offenses in Texas high school football on Chapel Hill. Ramos is a Plainview native, rather. So he's from that part of the world. This is an opportunity to go back relatively home. He's a West Texas guy. So he's going to be the next head coach of the Lamesa Golden Tornadoes. So congratulations to Coach Efren Ramos, the new head coach at Lamesa. And those are some headlines from across the state of Texas. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider going to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Coming up here in just a moment, what does the Big 12 look like moving into 2024? But first, a word from these goods and services.
loose, bust it loose. Come on, get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bust it loose when you wanna sing. Bust it loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bust it loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texans love doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
Welcome back to Texas Football Today. I'm Greg, that's Ashley, hanging out here on a beautiful Monday.
It is beautiful. It could be a little warmer.
Okay, well, here we are complaining about,
I'm tired of being cold. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, that's fine.
Our
Pickle.
little fire's not doing much over here. So warm.
Pickle. I should put a. Tomorrow I'm gonna put a. If it's still cold, I'm gonna put a
fireplace.
Yule log on.
Tomorrow there's a high of 75, so we're gonna be
Radical.
cooking with Crisco tomorrow.
Radical. Pickle. Let's talk about the Big 12.
Okay.
People love the Big 12.
Yes.
I feel like that is
maybe a little bit less now, but yes.
Okay. Well, that's rude.
Someone has to be a realist here.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the Big 12, and specifically, I want to talk about what it's going to look like heading into 2024. The reason this comes up is, of course, I'm sure you saw the announcement today that the Big 12 is going to be having their media days in July in Las Vegas. Now, perhaps you're asking yourself, I don't really follow the Big 12 all that much. Did UNLV join the Big 12? No. Is anyone west of the Las Vegas joining them? Is this a central area? No.
The furthest west we go is what now? BYU, I guess.
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably BYU or Utah, one of them.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this. Here's what I think is happening. Why they're having it in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
One, it seems like everything's happening in Las Vegas these days.
Yeah, why not?
Two, I cannot help but feel like this is Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark holding up the head of Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff and saying, "Where is your God now?"
Yep.
Like, is this your king,
Yeah.
basically? Because I feel like this is like a victory lap for him. Of like, we killed the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
We survived. Only one of us was going to be survived.
It was us.
And to the victor go the spoils. That's what I think is happening.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. But it does bring up an interesting question about what the what the Big 12 is going to look like moving forward, because there's a lot of change.
Mm-hmm.
Texas and Oklahoma are leaving. They're adding those 4 Pac-12 teams,
Mm-hmm.
right? With Utah, with Colorado, with Arizona, and with Arizona State. They're all joining. And I do think that there is a certain notion that with Texas and Oklahoma leaving, that the Big 12 is going to take a big step back.
Yeah.
I will say this. From a brand perspective, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really an opinion. Like, if any league loses 2 of the most recognizable brands in college football, that's bad news.
Yeah.
It was bad news when the Pac-12 lost Oregon and Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad news. And so I think from a brand perspective, the Big 12 is certainly going to take a step back.
Yeah.
But I am here to tell you, Pickle, that I'm starting to believe that the Big 12, while it is not going to be the best conference out there,
Mm-hmm.
I do think it has a chance to be the most interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's the crazy guy in the fight. Like, you are setting if you are smart enough to be self-aware and realize we are not the SEC and we're not the Big Ten and we're not going to be that now because we couldn't keep our 2 main players.
It's a big 2.
Yes.
There's 2 big conferences. And if you're not in those 2 big conferences, you, like, I'm sorry, like, if this is offensive to people, but that's just the truth of the matter. Those are the 2 big name conferences, and everyone else is kind of a step below.
But if you're self-aware enough to realize that, then you can and should have the opportunity to go, okay, we're not the big 2, no one else is either, but we could be the top of the next
Rung,
step
whatever
down.
you call it. Yes.
Yeah, and go up against the ACC. Go up against anything else. I mean, even the Fun Belt is getting better and better every single year.
It should be the preeminent non-Power 2 conference.
Absolutely.
Is what it should be.
And then you can also have more fun with it, like hosting your media days in Vegas, because why not?
So here's what's so interesting is that if you take a look at this is strange to say, the 18 teams that either were part of the Big 12 last year or will be part of the Big 12 this year. So the top ranked team, I'm looking at Bill Connolly's SP Plus on ESPN. The top ranked is Texas, not
Right.
The third ranked was Oklahoma. Okay, so you're losing 2 of your top 3. Not good. Okay. You then have, what is this? You have 9 teams between number 15 and number 43 in the nation, according to Bill Connolly's SP Plus. 9 teams: Kansas State, Arizona, Kansas, Utah, TCU, Iowa State, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech. And that, by the way, doesn't count teams like UCF, which made a bowl last year. It wasn't always pretty, but UCF made a bowl last year. BYU, who has been very good recently. Colorado.
You're gonna get media dollars there.
Cincinnati take or leave. Cincinnati played in a college football playoff.
They did 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Houston,
Who
new coach.
just hired an incredible coach.
New coach and big kind of spot, big region, like a big
A recruiting hotbed.
Baylor, obviously not going great right now. However, this is the team that not that long ago was the Big 12 champion.
Yeah, they just need to figure out. They just need to poop or get off the pot with the leadership there.
And then Arizona State. And Arizona State, say what you want about them. They've got a new head coach, I believe. There's a lot of different, or they'll be going into a second year with their head coach. There's a lot of they have been good in the past, and it's certainly a talent-rich area that they've had their recruiting success in the past. When you take a look up and down there, and I think that's why we talked about 2023 being so important for teams to kind of establish themselves as like the preeminent power in the Big 12, the new Big 12. I'm here to tell you, I don't think that happened.
It didn't.
And so as a result, it does feel like a free-for-all entering 2024.
Which is fun and exciting.
Yeah. I mean, TCU took a step back, right? They were 5-7.
Yep.
They were in a college football playoff
2 years ago.
national championship game 2 years ago. They could be in that mix, right? West Virginia won 9 games. We thought Neil Brown was going to get fired.
Yep.
They won 9 games. Oklahoma State was a 10-win team. Texas Tech took a step back, but still made and won a bowl,
Yep.
right? Kansas is on the rise. Utah has, I think, one of the most perhaps the best coach in college football, in my opinion. Arizona has a new coach. They were a 10-win team last year. What I'm saying here is that there's going to be a tendency to throw dirt on the Big 12 because they're losing the 2 top brands. And I'm not here to tell you that losing Texas and Oklahoma is a thing that you should pursue if you have the means. Don't do that. It's bad overall.
Good.
This league would be much better with Texas and Oklahoma. But I think that from a watchability perspective, from an intrigue perspective, and from a potentially rising to be that third best conference in college football perspective, I think the Big 12 has a real opportunity here.
I think it's just you have to see yourself for what you are.
Yes.
You just have to understand you're playing on a different playing field than
Yes.
what the top 2 conferences are going to be. So go out there and try to get to the top
Yes.
of the rest of
And
everybody.
by the way, in an expanded playoff, you're definitely getting one team in.
Absolutely. If not 2, potentially.
You should feel like a conference that gets 2. And in a great year, maybe you squint and especially if there's a lot of chaos at the top of the other 2 leagues,
Right.
maybe you get 3. I think that the Big 12 has reinvented itself into a new, strange, but very intriguing league that, especially in 2024 with kind of still shifting sands, is going to be fun to watch.
I agree.
That's my take. So there you have it, a little Big 12 talk here.
Yeah, our entire college football staff was very excited to hear that the Big 12 Media Days are in Vegas.
They were very excited.
So
Why?
we'll be the Squidward meme of SpongeBob and Patrick running around, and he's standing there like
We'll be here
this.
doing Texas football today on July 9th or whatever. Anyway, let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Let's see. I didn't even think about that because I was so interested in that conversation. Stay warm.
That's my final thought.
Gonna do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day.
With us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.